Now that spring is in full swing here, I thought I would share with you some of the exciting growth that my plants are currently putting out. And the first one I want to share is this Tradescantia Nanook. Look how crazy this one is going. It's really growing fast and it's actually outgrown its space on my shelf, so I'm having to find another spot for it, but yeah, it's just going absolutely mental. It's absolutely huge, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. This one is definitely a lot bigger than the one I had last year that didn't make it. This one's for some reason growing more vigorously, and yeah, I'm really enjoying growing this one. It is growing upwards. I think that's quite typical of Tradescantia because I believe, I could be wrong, but I think that they are more kind of ground cover plants really than hanging plants. So they tend to kind of want to put their growth out, but obviously when we're keeping them in pots, they don't have any ground space to kind of eke out on. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that though. It's a lovely splash of pink in my collection, and yeah, I'm really glad I decided to give this plant another go too. So my Subie blue propagations are doing really well. This one is putting out so many new leaves. This is one of the pots that I'm going to be keeping as a trailing pot, but it's putting out loads of new little leaves, and yeah, it shouldn't be too long now until I start to see a proper plant forming. At the moment it's kind of sticks with sort of leaves, but I'm really seeing lots of growth coming out of this one, so I'm quite excited because this was one of the plants that I saved over winter. This one had root rot, so it's really nice that I've managed to save some of the plant and the whole plant hasn't gone to waste. And then I did actually decide to chop my Syngonium mojito right back, so I've chopped it right down, and the reason I did that is because this one had a few problems over winter. It had spider mites and it was looking a bit worse for wear, so I decided that the best thing would be to just really chop it down. And as you can see, I have propagated all the pieces, so I should have lots of these plants. This one usually does root quite well, but let's have a look. I am already seeing some new growth coming out of it. So yeah, I'm pretty confident that this was a good decision because a lot of the leaves I had on this one, and even some of the ones it's still got, they were looking a bit sad. So I decided that I wanted to start again, and as soon as this one gets going and that new growth starts to come out, it should actually grow quite fast because this is quite a fast growing plant. So yeah, and it's got that little pole to climb up, so I'm kind of confident that we'll at least get to the top of this pole by the end of the growing season. At least that's my prediction. But yeah, it was a bit sad to have to chop it because this is one of my favourite plants. But I think because of the spider mites that it had over winter, it had some damage from the spider mites, but it also had some damage from accidental overwatering. This was another one of my overwatering victims because I was spraying it down quite a lot, and I've actually learned quite a lot this winter about spider mite treatments, and I've learned that sometimes you can go in a bit hard with the spraying and maybe it would be better to be a bit more careful next time. So I did learn some good lessons this year. Next year when I get spider mites, or you know, maybe I'll get them in spring, summer too. They aren't just a winter pest, but yeah, next time I get spider mites, I'm definitely going to be more careful about the overwatering. I think in my kind of enthusiasm to get rid of the spider mites, I forgot about making sure the plant doesn't get overwatered. So yeah, that's a big lesson I've learned, but I shall keep you posted on how this one grows, and I'm pretty sure it should start growing back nicely soon. It does seem to be having some new growth points already, so yeah, I'm quite confident that this will be a success story, fingers crossed. So next up, this is my Alocasia stingray. This one hasn't actually put out any new growth yet, but I did just want to show it because I found a nice pot for it. I thought this was quite a complimentary pot for the plant, and it does seem to be doing well. It's healthy enough. I haven't seen any spider mites yet, so that's good. But yeah, just look at those weird leaves. I really do love this one. And I can see that it is working on a new leaf, but it will probably take a while. I'm not going to repot this one because even though it appears to be in just pure coco coir, Alocasias do like a little bit more of a moist situation. I've been careful to kind of keep the soil lightly moist but not too wet. Obviously there's a fine line between moist and wet, so I've just been trying to do my best for this one, but I definitely don't want to be messing with it and repotting it at this stage. I just want to leave it to do its thing. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this plant. It is cool. I am keeping it away from my other plants just because, you know, I personally seem to get a lot of spider mites with Alocasias, so it's just a bit of a quarantine prevention to make sure that if it does get spider mites, it's not going to spread to my other plants. And in fact, since I've been putting my Alocasias on a separate table to my other plants, I have actually had far fewer spider mites than I did before. So I don't know, maybe it is working, but we'll see what happens. But I'm just so excited to see this one grow. Hopefully next time I give you an update on this one, I'll be able to show you some new growth. That would be nice. Next is my Philodendron painted lady. This one's doing really well. There are actually 3 plants in the pot and all of them are putting out new leaves. You can see there a new one. But all 3 plants are currently putting out new leaves. This is the one that's kind of winning the race at the moment. But the good thing is it's looking lovely and healthy, and I just find this one so fun to grow. I absolutely love the colours in it. I love the red against the kind of yellowy, greeny variegation. It's really cool, and this is definitely one of my favourite plants. I'm really enjoying having this one in my collection. I haven't actually repotted it yet because obviously at some point it will need something to climb, but at the moment I'm just letting it be because it seems happy and it doesn't really need any support yet. So yeah, I'm just enjoying letting it do its thing. But it's really lovely to see these new leaves coming through because I previously had one of these that didn't do very well. So to see this one really lovely and healthy and growing nicely is really nice. So yeah, I definitely don't regret buying this plant. It is one of my favourites right now in my collection for sure. This is another little Tradescantia that is also doing so well. Look how much it's grown. This was just a little tot when I got it. Tradescantias are definitely a type of plant that tend to kind of win the race when it comes to spring growth. They definitely start quite soon, and yeah, as you can see, they do grow very fast. So it is fun to watch them grow. And let's see, does this one need some water? Probably not yet. Yeah, I've been trying to keep up with watering my Tradescantias because they do not like to dry out completely. You tend to get a lot of crispy bits, but I think with Tradescantia, crispy bits are just part of the deal. So they do just require regular pruning. Like you can see on the back there, there's a little bit of a yellow leaf. You can just pull those off and give it a prune as necessary. That's what I do with all my Tradescantias. They put out so much new growth that when you prune off the old growth, you know, there's plenty to replace it usually. This is my variegated umbrella plant cutting, and I put it in this kind of little shell pot. I thought that was quite interesting. It's a bit different, and yeah, it's putting out another new little leaf at the moment. It hasn't exactly got into its swing with growing really fast yet, but I found that with my other umbrella plants that the first year or two that I have them, they tend to be a little slower. After that, they just really take off and they go absolutely crazy and they grow really, really fast. So yeah, I do expect this one to maybe be a little bit slower this season, and then maybe next year it will take off a little bit more. But it is drying out quite fast though, so I think it might need a new pot, which means it may not fit in this pot anymore, but that's how it goes, isn't it? But yeah, it does seem to be maintaining its variegation too, which is nice because that's what I love about this one. I do have a green one, and this one I just love those beautiful sunny coloured leaves. It's a really nice plant. If you watched the video I did recently about chopping up my Philodendron silver sword, don't worry, I have propagated all of the plants. I've chopped it up into pieces. This is one of the pots, and yeah, I have 4 of these. I won't show you all of them, but each pot has about 5 plants in them. So I've decided to propagate this plant in soil, and I've been just spraying the soil to keep it moist but not too wet. That's what I tend to do when I'm propagating in soil, because I don't want the plant to rot. But yeah, it's absolutely fine. It will be reborn soon, and yeah, I have every faith that at least some of these will survive. I mean, they might not all survive, but as I say, I do have 4 pots. Let me grab another pot. So yeah, this one's a little bit smaller, but I've got them all propagating. And yeah, sometimes I find certain plants easier to propagate in soil. I didn't get too much success in water with this plant last year, so that's why I've decided to go for soil this year. So we will just see what happens, but yeah, I think it should be fine. I mean, at least one of them is going to take off. I mean, this is probably the nicest one. It has the most mature leaves in it. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'll keep you posted. So if you do want to kind of follow along the journey of these propagations, definitely subscribe, and I will be sure to share some updates with you guys. Another plant that I had to chop up and restart was my Raphidophora tetrasperma. I'm pleased to say they must be rooting, because I'm seeing lots of new bulging growth coming out of them. They haven't taken off yet, but yeah, I have them all propagating and it should be fine. And this is another fast growing plant, so once it gets going, I should get some really good growth out of it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that new growth start to come out. And yeah, I am starting to see some little bulges from the nodes, so that tells me that they are successfully rooting, and the leaves themselves, they seem fairly perky, so that's usually a good sign that a propagation is going well. Again, I'm just keeping the soil quite moist with these, and I have given them poles to climb just because I know this to be a fast grower, and once it gets going, I'd like it to just have that pole there ready to go. I had to show you this one. This is my Vermatophyllum, and yep, you can see that it's doing really well. It's really recovered from that root rot, and I actually took this in the shower yesterday to give it a full clean, and it was quite difficult to get it into my bathroom because it's so big now. But I'm just thrilled that this one is flourishing. It's putting out so much new growth and it's making me really happy. But yeah, I'm just being extra careful to make sure I give it a good clean now and again. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit this one in the shower for very much longer, but whilst I still can, I can kind of just squeeze it in there. But it's looking really nice and healthy now, and all those browning leaves that it had because of the root rot, it stopped doing that now, and it's just putting out lovely green fresh growth. So I'm really thrilled because this is definitely one of my favourite plants of all time. So yeah, it is good that it's successful. It's incredibly heavy, I have to say, and so I'm going to put this one back. But yeah, I'm just really happy with that, and I had to show you because yeah, I'm just really proud with how this one has come back to health. Next up is my Alocasia zebrina, and this one's getting quite big now, so it's difficult to fit it in shot, but it currently has 4 leaves, and yeah, this is how it came through winter. It actually survived winter, and it still has 4 leaves. I think it had a lot more, but the fact that it still has 4 is pretty good for me, I'd say. I'm still awaiting some new leaves to come out. I've been kind of checking every day to see if there are any forming, and I can kind of see the very beginnings of bulging, but so far the leaves haven't started to break out. So yeah, I'm just keeping this one lightly watered and making sure that I just take care of it, basically give it plenty of bright and direct light, and hopefully soon we will get some new leaves on this one. So what else? So this is my Philodendron Buono, which is the newest leaf. This one. Yeah, this is the newest leaf, and it is now starting to put out another one too. So that's exciting. But yeah, it's definitely becoming quite large. I mean, obviously these get huge, so this one isn't really that big in the scheme of things, but I can tell, if you know what I mean, at this stage that it's going to be one of those dominating plants that needs quite a bit of space, a bit like the Fermatophyllum, that one needs a lot of space. But at the moment, I'm kind of tempted to put it on a support pole, but then it started putting through that leaf, and I thought, I don't want to repot it whilst it's got that new leaf, so I'm not sure what to do. Yeah, I should have got in there quickly really, but this one hasn't even properly hardened off yet, but I don't really know when to do it. I'm trying to time it right so that I don't stress the plant out, because I really love this plant. This here was the newest leaf it came out with when it arrived to me, and I think it's really nice. I actually really like the leaves regardless of the level of variegation. I've mentioned before that these white patches on this plant, they eventually fade out to a minty green, but I think even the darker bits are really nice. I haven't quite found the right pot for this one yet, a pot that I think really complements it. Currently trialing this one, not too keen, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, this again is another one of my favourite plants. Keep checking it, because it does seem like the sort of plant that the thrips would enjoy munching on. They tend to like sort of quite thin leaves. The leaves are quite, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but thrips tend to like nice tender leaves. But usually if there's thrips, they'll be on the newest leaf, and I can't actually see any. I suppose it should be quite easy to see adult thrips if they're black. But anyway, I don't want to tempt fate, but you know, it's one of those things that just happens, isn't it? So, but yeah, I just don't want this plant to get eaten. But yeah, when that new leaf comes through, I'll definitely share it. But yeah, soon I'll repot it. Hang on a minute. Oh my God, is that a thrip? Oh, it is. And there was me just saying about it, and now I've found one. Oh, okay, well, I've squished it. What on earth? Oh my gosh, you must be kidding me. Okay, well, I can't believe that. I was just saying there aren't any, and now I see one. Where the heck did that come from? Oh no, this is not good. Okay, oh well. I'm going to have to go and give this one a spray, I guess. Well, I can't see any more, but there will be more. I really hope I didn't manifest that. Anyway, I squished the one that I saw, but yeah, I will go and give this one a treatment. So I'm going to put that to one side. That's worrying me a little bit, because it means now potentially my other plants might have them, but that's life. So maybe it crawled out from in these little gaps here. Oh, I mean, I can't see any more, but it's bound to have laid a few eggs, isn't it? Oh, okay. I'll give it a spray. That's my next job then, off camera. Lucky me. This is my begonia that I got recently, and obviously I haven't had it for very long, so I don't really have a lot of an update, but it seems to be doing okay. I've been keeping an eye on the leaves. Some of the lower ones are a little bit crispy, that one there, but one leaf I'm not too worried about. I've been trying really hard to look after this one and make sure it's healthy. I'm trying to kind of give it everything it needs, make sure it gets the perfect water, the perfect light, etc. And yeah, what's that? Nope, that's okay. I thought I saw another thrip. Yeah, anyway, I'm sure you're the same with your plants. Every little speck could be a thrip. But yeah, so far it's doing fine, and yeah, I can't really say much at the moment because obviously I haven't had it for very long, but I am enjoying having it in my collection for the time being, and I'm probably not going to go too crazy on getting any more begonias just because I kind of like to prove to myself that I can care for one first. So I'm kind of practicing on this one. I've been looking at a lot of care guides and things like that. So hopefully if I can master this begonia, maybe I'll get a few more. I mean, there are some begonias that I really like and some that I don't much like, which is the same with any kind of plant, isn't it? You know, some of them we like, some of them we don't. This is definitely one that I do like. So yeah, I'm just gonna try my hand at this one, and if you're thinking of having a go with a begonia and you haven't tried them yet, give it a go. Maybe just get one like I have and see how you go. There's no harm in trying, is there? And even if the plant doesn't make it, you'll learn a lot about the care along the way too. So yeah, either way, it's a winner. That's the way I like to look at it. I recently repotted my Syngonium albo because it wasn't growing very fast, and I thought maybe it was root bound. It actually wasn't root bound, so I don't know. Maybe it was a nutrient thing, but anyway, I repotted it into the same pot, and you probably won't be able to see, but it does have some new growth coming in. It is in there, but it has now started growing again, so maybe it just needed the substrate changing up, I don't know. Yeah, I will have to keep my eye out for thrips on this one now, because now that I've found one on one plant, this is the sort of plant that they love to munch on, unfortunately, because it has very thin, tender leaves. But yeah, the fact that it's now growing again, maybe it's the fact that it's getting some nutrients and things, because I have started fertilizing my plants now that we're going into spring. So anything that's actually growing, I don't tend to fertilize directly after repotting. I'll wait, but once I'm in the kind of normal swing of things, I tend to fertilize kind of, it depends on the plant really, but I've been using a sort of a combination of slow release fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, and I've also been trying out seaweed extract too, which isn't a fertilizer, but it's like an extra kind of nutrient that's supposed to encourage vigorous growth. I don't know if it's true, if it works, but I thought give it a go, why not? So yeah, we'll see what happens, but yeah, I have been trying to make sure my plants are well fed this year. I definitely learned a lot last year about providing my plants with the right things, and this year I feel I've got a lot more kind of tools in the box, if you know what I mean. So yeah, and of course we never stop learning, but I do feel like I'm a little bit more learned this year, so I'll be applying all the mistakes I made last year this year, and then the same will happen again next year, and that's how we keep growing, isn't it? I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.